your sweet association today morning, Mataji. And thanks for giving us the opportunity to serve. And all glories to your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
For giving us the opportunity to serve. And all glories to your services. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the session today morning, Masaji, and thank you for all your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Harita Mataji, Danvat pranams to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call, Mataji, and giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and very nice recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Harita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for giving your sweet association today morning in the call, Mataji, and all glories to your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Parima Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and thanks for giving your sweet association today morning, Mataji, and all glories to your comments and your sweet, comments for all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari dasi.
Hare Krishna Kirtida Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and thanks for giving your association and thanks for taking today's class of Caitanya Bhagavata. And thanks to all your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So let me read out the quote, Mataji, and then I will hand over the call to you, Mataji.
Sure, Mataji.
So, Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference mid-morning call once again. So, today's class will be taken by Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Devi Mataji, and the topic is Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda 7.17 to 7.36. Thank you very much, Mataji. I'll just read Prabhupada's quote. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up. Yeah. So today is January 10th. The powerful Harinama is so strong that even if one unconsciously or consciously they imitate Hare Krishna, they have no intention to chant the holy name of the Krishna, but they imitate or criticize Hare Krishna. That also has effect. Calcutta, January 10th, 1971 by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for giving your time and association today morning and enlightening us on this topic of Caitanya Bhagavata. Please take over the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And thank you so much, Harita Mataji, for your very, very kindness. Warm welcome for everybody. Thank you, everyone, for your kind association. Really grateful to each and every one of you to join us today. So we will continue with our Caitanya Bhagavat. And before that, we'll offer some prayers to seek auspiciousness, and then we'll move forward. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमादिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देवा कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्य पवित्र जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तेर् जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणां गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्येश्वरम् That's it. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you once again for your very, very kind association. Really ask for blessings and prayers from each and every one of you. Please shower it profusely so that I can speak something relevant to this subject matter in glorification of Caitanya Bhagavata and purification of myself. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripasindubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. Give me 1 second. So we are in the section in Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda, and the chapter entitled is about Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So the chapter is the meeting of Gadadhar Pandit and Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So we have covered few verses of this chapter, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, one day he got into ecstatic emotions and he started crying loudly and exclaiming, "Oh, my father Pundarik." So this way he was crying and calling, and he was lamenting on when will he see him again. So we all know Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a great associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, we know that he came with a lot of his associates when he came for performing this Gaura Leela He came with his associates. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi is also one of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it's been described that he is the third big branch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So remember in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have a big tree, devotional tree, of which the seed was Madhavendra Puri, the roots were Ishvara Puri Pad. The trunk of the tree was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The two main branches were Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. And the third big branch of that tree was Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi is the third branch of that big Chaitanya tree, and therefore he was very, very dear to Lord Chaitanya. To an extent that Lord Chaitanya would cry profusely while remembering Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And our Gaur Ganesh Dishtipika, written by Kavi Karnapura, describes that Pundarik Vidyanidhi was the father of Srimati Radharani. So in Krishna Leela, he was King Rishabhanu. And Gadadhar Pandit is incarnation of Srimati Radharani. So this way Mahaprabhu was lamenting and he wants to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi. But he was just calling Pundarik, Pundarik. And we know the word Pundarik means the lotus, right? The lotus-eyed. So the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who were associated, who were present there, assembled there, they all thought that Mahaprabhu is calling out to Lord. The devotees were not able to understand. They thought that he is referring to Krishna. So they thought that he is calling out to Lord Shri Krishna because the name of Krishna is also Pundarik. Pundarikaksha. So Pundarik means lotus and Pundarikaksha means the lotus-eyed Krishna. So they had no idea whom Gaura Sundar was calling out to. So then some of the devotee will continue with, there we ended yesterday. So we'll continue. I'll share my screen. Yeah. So there we ended this last verse that we read. They said that Pundarik refers to Krishna. But on hearing the name Vidyanidhi, they began to consider that who is Vidyanidhi? Because Pundarik definitely is the name of Lord Shri Krishna. And they have no idea who Pundarik Vidyanidhi was. So one of the devotees said, Khona priya bhakta iha sabha buji lena bhaya haile prabhu sthane sabha bali lena. So they understood that maybe this Pundarik Vidyanidhi, whom Mahaprabhu is calling, because he called out and he fainted. He was crying profusely, and Lord Mahaprabhu, he fainted also. So, Kona Priya Bhakta, they thought that maybe this Pundarik Vidyanidhi may be a Priya Bhakta, is a dear devotee of the Lord. Sabhi Bhuji Lena, everybody was started thinking, contemplating that maybe this Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhaya Hale Prabhu Sthane Sabha Balinina. And as soon as Mahaprabhu came to his external consciousness, because he fainted and he was so much ecstatic that he was simply remembering Pundarik. So when Bahya Prabhu Sthane, Haila Prabhu Sthane, when he came to his external consciousness, Sabhi Balin, and everybody started asking, inquiring from him, who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi? So our Caitanya Charitamrita actually describes that Pundarik Vidyanidhi Sabha Bada Sakha Jani. Yara Amanamale Prabhu Khandila Apani. So Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that Pundarik Vidyanidhi Bada Sakha Jani. He was the dearmost associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Mahaprabhu would consider him as his Sakha, as his friend. In a friend and of course in the form of a father. Jara Nama Laya Prabhu Kandila Pani. And as soon as he will call out his name, he will Kandila, means he would cry profusely. just remembering Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So let's see the next verse. So because see, in the previous verse also it was mentioned, see, Pundarika Aramora Bapere Bandhure. So he is calling him as Bapare, means as father, and also Bandhu as a friend. Therefore, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's been mentioned that Pundarik Vidyanidhi Bada Sakha Jani. So Mahaprabhu consider him as his great friend. Let's see next verse, text 18. Kona bhakta lagi prabhu karaha krandana satya ama sabha prati karaha kathana. So the devotees assembled there, they were asking, Kona bhakta lagi prabhu karaha krandana. Who is that devotee for which you are crying? Krandana means to cry. Why are you crying for that devotee? Satya ama sabha prati karaha kathana. Please tell us the truth. That who is this Pundarik Vidyanidhi and why are you crying so much? Amasabara bhagya haukatane jani tara janma karma kotha kaha prabhu suni. And they all said, please, amara sabara bhagya, hamara bhagya uday ho, means let all that good fortune should come on us by knowing this personality. तारा जन्म कर्म को था हमारा पूरा जन्म हमारा जो कर्म means all our activities, our life in this world may all become purified and auspicious just because we want to hear about this personality. Prabhu Katha Suni, and please, they are requesting, please tell us the birth and activities of this personality, this Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And Prabhu bole tomara sakale bhagyavan sunite haila icha tara akhayan. And the Lord said, tomara sakala bhagyavan means you all are really greatly fortunate. Why? Because you have developed a desire to know the janma and karma katha of this great devotee, to know the birth and the activity of this personality. You want to know, you have developed a great desire to hear about him. So you all are really fortunate. Why somebody can become really fortunate? When they have the company of Mahaprabhu, when they know about Mahaprabhu, but still Mahaprabhu is saying, to know about my devotee actually is the most fortunate thing. Right? So even Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ye me bhakta jana partha me ne me bhaktaste japanjanaha mat bhaktanam ye bhaktis te me bhakta tamamataha. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? That it's okay to know me, it's okay to know the Supreme Lord. Those who are directly worshipping me, they are my devotees, but actually they are not my devotees. But then who is your devotee, O Mahaprabhu? Those who are the devotees of my devotees. They are factually my devotees. Ye me bhakta jana partha. Actually, this verse was spoken by Lord Shri Krishna, but it was repeated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this way, they were saying that, oh, Mahaprabhu said that you all are really fortunate. Indeed, you are so fortunate because you have developed a desire to hear the Janma Karma Katha of this wonderful personality, this devotee of mine, whom I'll be so much happy to explain you. Even Tulsidas would say, More man Prabhu as Biswasa, Ram te adhik Ram kardasa. Das of Ram is more glorious than Lord Ram himself. The Supreme Lord, the devotees of the Supreme Lord are more glorious. Why they are glorious? Can anybody unmute and say, why the devotees of the Lord are more glorious than the Lord himself?
I'm taking a guess, it would be wrong, but the devotees carry the Lord in their heart.
Yes, very nice. The devotees carry the Lord in their heart. Yes.
People than the Lord himself.
Hmm.
What else? I don't know.
Devotees take a hard struggles to give Krishna to others.
Very
That's why they're glorious.
Yes. So bhakti comes only from bhakta. Even the Supreme Lord, Madhurya Kadambrini, it's been described that even the Supreme Lord has no power to bestow bhakti. Though the mercy comes from the Supreme Lord, but bhakti comes only from bhakta, will come only from the devotees. That is why it is said that the devotees of the Lord are more glorious than the Supreme Lord. Okay, hearing this and saying this, that you are really fortunate that you have developed a desire to hear about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, then Mahaprabhu said, Parama Adbhuta Tara Sakala Charitra Tara Nama Shravane O Samsara Pavitra. Then he said, Parama Adbhuta, uska jo charitra hai, the characteristics of this Pundarik Vidyanidhi is very wonderful. It's Parama, most wonderful, Parama Adbhuta. Tara Nama Shravane O Samsara Pavitra. Simply by hearing the name Pundarik Vidya Nidhi, the entire world, samsara, can become pavitra, can become purified. Then he says, he describes his characteristics. Vishaira prayatara parichhada sabha chinitena pare ke hati hoye Vaishnava. So what Mahaprabhu says, that Vishara Paraya, out of his external appearance, if you go and meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi, you will find that he is drowned in Vishara, means in Sambhoga, in this Bhoga Vilas. You will find him doing Bhoga Vilas. You will find him being a so materialistic person. Parichhada Sava. Parichhada means, but still he's covered. He is covered. For what he is covered, Chinitena pare dekha teho Vaishnava. Means if you will go and see him, you will even not recognize him that he is a Vaishnava. You will simply find him to be a materialistic person. But he is parichad. Parichad means to cover yourself. Right? So he has covered his Vaishnavta and his external behavior, in his external appearance. He has covered his Vaishnavta. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes a brilliant purport to this. And he says, the pastimes of Krishna are incomprehensible to the materialist. Materialistic people think that avajananti mamuda, that's what Krishna says, right? Those who are fool, they don't understand why I have taken this Manushya Ashrita, why I have taken the shelter of a human being. They consider me to be an ordinary human being, or some may consider to be a superhuman being, right? But they cannot comprehend that my inconceivable nature. That's what Krishna says. So sometimes, just like Krishna, the devotees of Krishna also remain incognito and deceive the living entities of this world by covering themselves with material opulences. So this is how the devotee also does. They remain incognito and deceive others by covering themselves with material opulences. Means externally when you see, you will see, well, this person is just like me. But internally, he is the most happiest person. He is in Ananda. He is in his bliss. And therefore it is said that even if if our bhajan goes well someday, then also externally we should be very, very sober. We should think, oh, I have not done anything. We should present ourselves that I am the lowest of all. I am not able to chant properly. Even we know that my bhajan has gone today to an extent where I can say that it's okay. Not best, but it's okay. I did my best today. Still, from outside, one should present that, no, my bhajan has not gone. But inside, one can be in ananda, one can be in bliss, the highest bliss. But outside, one should always cover one's bhajan. Ordinary foolish people who are endowed with material vision, they consider Lord Krishna a temporary hero and thus lose all faith in him. Some of them consider Lord Krishna a historical mortal human being who is subjected to birth and death, but they fail to know him. The devotees of Krishna often also display the pastimes of gross materialistic on account of their reluctance to reveal their actual identity before the eyes of unqualified persons. one should not reveal one's bhajan to others. Because if bhajan is revealed, like sometimes when we dream, and in our dream, our spiritual master comes, or Srila Prabhupada comes, or some great personality comes, we should not reveal it. Because either the dream will not come again, or the value or the significance of that dream will be lost. So similarly, it's just not about the dream, but whatever spiritual activities also we do, we should not reveal it to others. Of course, to some of our confidential friends, our relatives whom we think will not become jealous or not become envious, then yes, to some we can. But otherwise, in general, we should not try to reveal our bhajan. And therefore, he says, actual identity should not be revealed before the eyes of unqualified persons. We should not reveal our identity. In order to bewilder those who were eligible to be illusioned by seeing one's external dress, Pundarik Vidyanidhi also presented himself in the dress of a gross materialistics, as a gross materialist in the past of Gaura, in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, who himself is a Channa Avatara, a covered incarnation. So our Mahaprabhu also came in the form of a Channa Avatara. So one of his devotee, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, also he decided to be a Channa Avatara. So this Pundarik Vidyanidhi, we all know, was a disciple of Shripad Madhavendra Puri, who is the spiritual master of Ishvara Puripad, and later he became the spiritual master of Gadadhar Pandit. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi accepted Gadadhar Pandit as his disciple. But he was misunderstood by all the people. Why? Because he was always drowned in that materialistic pleasure. But Prabhupada says, actually, many places, even in the, even in the bhajan of Narottam Das Thakur, he says, Apana bhajana katha na koi bo jatha jatha, ihate hoi bo svavadhan. We have to be very, very savdhan. We have to be very, very careful that we should not describe apana bhajana katha na kahi bo jatha jatha. Here and there, just don't describe that what bhajan we are doing or what spiritual activities we are doing, because the value, its significance will be lost. And therefore, na koribo keho rosha, and therefore we should not become angry, na loyo keho dosha, and we should not see even the fault in others. But what should we do? Pranamu bhaktara charanam. We should always offer to the dust of the lotus feet of all the devotees. So this is how we should also present ourselves. So the devotees of the Lord will always cover themselves. Always cover themselves. And that's what even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, in the pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami, we all know that how Raghunath Das Goswami was from a very rich family, from a very wealthy family, and he wants to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But his father would always bring him back, saying that no, and that you should associate with the family, you should take care of the family business, you should not be a renunciant and do not be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then finally, they also married Raghunath Das Goswami with the thought that maybe if when he's married, this bondage of marriage will keep him back to his home. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was longing to see, Raghunath Das Goswami was longing to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one day, he asked his father that I really want to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was given 7 days time period that you can go ahead and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Raghunath Das Goswami went to Shantipur, to the house of Advaita Acharya, where he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that time also he requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I want to leave my family, I want to leave my parents, and I want to just be with you. And that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, Antara nishtha kare bahe lok ka vyavhar, achirat Krishna tomai karib uddhar. He said that antara nishtha kare. Within your heart, be very faithful to me. Be very faithful to Lord Shri Krishna. But bahe lok ke vyavhar. But outside, externally you behave like an ordinary man. Be like an ordinary man who is involved in his business, taking care of the family, taking care of the wife. Bahe lok ka vyavhar. Achirat Krishna tomai kari uddhar. And very soon, Krishna will be very pleased, and very soon you will be delivered from these clutches of Maya. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Markat Vairagya na kare, loka dekhana. Don't become a show bottle in front of a show bottle devotee in front of all other people. Because Mahaprabhu told him that right now you have not developed the full renunciation. So even if you renounce everything, actually Mahaprabhu was simply testing Raghunath Das Goswami. It's not that Das Goswami was not eligible at that time, but Mahaprabhu gave him this instruction just to test him. So he told, Markat Vairagya na kare loka dekhana. Don't become a show bottle by performing this Markat Vairagya. Yatha yogya vishaya bhuja anasaktahana. Rather, you should, Yatha yogya, very nicely, you should vishaya bhuja. Just involve yourself while enjoying this material world. But how? Anasaktana, without any attachment. Be detached to all your riches. Be detached to all your family members. Be detached to all your opulences. Be detached and perform loka vyavhar. Otherwise, you will become a show bottle. Don't become a show bottle. Markat vairagya nahi hona chahiye. What is this Markat vairagya? Prabhupada explains that one, because just like Markat vairagya, Markat means the monkey. What is the vairagya of a monkey? The monkey stays on trees, eats only fruits, but looks like a vairagi, just like a saint in Vrindavan. Looks like a vairagi, have no other business. But the moment the monkey sees a she monkey, all that desire to enjoy that she monkey sprouts in the heart of the monkey. So it's a Markat vairagya. Means artificially you are not you are not renunciate, but artificially you present yourself that you are totally renunciate. So therefore Mahaprabhu says, Antara nishtha hai bahe loka vyavhar. Inside, be a very, very faithful person. Have full nishtha on the Supreme Lord. But outside, you can become bahe lokya vyavhar. Then achirat Krishna tomai kari bagdar. Very soon you will have Krishna. You will see Krishna, and you will be released from these clutches of Maya that you are in right now. So this way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told even Raghunath Das Goswami. And this is the instructions not only for Das Goswami, because that time Mahaprabhu gave these instructions to test Das Goswami. But these instructions apply to all of us. Falsely, we should not try to renounce anything. Sometimes we become fed up of our grahastha life, that we have to do so many chores. My bhakti is impacted. I'm not able to chant rounds. Oh, I need to chant 64 rounds. I need to chant 84 rounds, and number of rounds, but I'm not able to chant. I have so much responsibilities at home. I have to take care of my child. I have to take care of home. I have to do my 9 to 5 job. Well, that is also counted as bhakti. Bhakti is not just sitting at one place and continuously chanting. It depends upon which ashram we are in. If we are in renounced order of life, like Haridas Thakur, then there is no harm. The only business at that time we have is to chant the holy name. But when we are in an ashram, when we are in a grahastha ashram, then at that time we have to follow the rules and regulations of a grahastha life also. Taking care of our children, taking care of our family, taking care of our 9 to 5 job is also regarded as bhakti, provided we do it for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha. To please the senses of that Rishikesh, if we perform all our activities, then that is Bhakti Ruchyata. Rupa Goswami says that is the Uttama Bhakti. So, we should always not try to renounce anything. That will be a Markat Vairagya, or that will be a false Phalgu Vairagya, or that will be a Shamshan Vairagya. What is Shamshan Vairagya? When somebody dies and you go to Shamshan, you go to that cremation ground and you feel, oh, what is the use? See, this person has died in such a young age. And what is the use? I am also busy earning money without realizing that I will also leave all my property here only. Rather, I should do something for Krishna. But then moment we come out, again we are on our phone calls, we are back to our normal routine life. That is Shamshan Vairagya. Those emotions arouse only at the cremation ground. The moment you are out, it's gone. So that's not the right Vairagya. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says the right Vairagya is Yukta Vairagya. Don't follow Shamshan Vairagya or Markat Vairagya or Falgu Vairagya. These are all false renunciation. They will not lead us to anywhere. Just getting frustrated from a grasta life and on that account leaving our grasta life or leaving our dharma. Like suppose a student may say, well, I should chant rather studying. Well, the dharma of a student is to study. At the same time, dedicate your study to the Supreme Lord. At the same time, have a fixed hours in your life, in your 24 hours, that you can dedicate it to Krishna where you can chant. But if you expect a student that non-stop should go on chanting 192 rounds and not taking care of his studies, that's not right. So out of frustration, when we renounce anything, that is not the true renunciation. The true renunciation is when we renounce with the right intelligence and we use everything in Krishna's service by being detached from whatever opulence that we have. See, even Mahaprabhu says to Chaitanya, to Das Goswami, Anasaktahana, do all, Vishaya Bhujya, do all, enjoy this material world, but Anasakta, in a form of detachment. When we are detached with all our material opulences, then we know that this is actually not for me, this is for Krishna. All this opulence that has been bestowed to me is for time being. The time will come when everything will be taken away from me. And at that time, I'm not supposed to lament. And that will only happen when we realize that whatever has been bestowed to me is not mine. It's Krishna's. Today, Krishna has given me happiness. It's because Krishna's mercy is there. Whenever he desires, he can take away that happiness. He can take away that opulence. Why? Because it doesn't belong to me. And that will only happen when the devotee is detached, when the devotees have no attachment to so-called opulences or to so-called one's materialistic life. So this way he says that you, O Raghunath Das Goswami, don't be a false renunciate. Be a true renunciate. Enjoy everything as per your parents are saying, and then develop detachment from that. Don't be a show bottle. Don't become a false renunciate. And then you should keep your heart very, very faithful towards Krishna. But externally, you can behave like an ordinary man. So similarly here, Mahaprabhu is also telling that this Pundarik Nityanidhi, he appear like just like a materialist and nobody can recognize him as a Vaishnava. And Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says that one should not reveal one's identity before the eyes of unqualified persons. छठी ग्रामे जन्म विप्र परम पंडिता परम स्वधर्म savaloka apekshita. So now then Mahaprabhu, because they asked about the Janma and Karma, so Mahaprabhu is telling about Janma of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, that he was born in Chattagram and Vipra Parama Pandita, and he was a very great learned Brahmana. He was a Vipra, but he was a great Pandit also. Parama Swadharma Sarva Loka Apekshita. And he would follow his Swadharma. So we all know through Bhagavad Gita that we have two types of dharma. One is our eternal dharma, our Jaiva dharma. That is, what is our Jaiva dharma? That we are Krishna's das. We are Jivara Swarupa Hoy Nitya Krishna das. We are Krishna's servant. That is our Nitya dharma. That is our Sanatan dharma. But Swadharma is the dress I am wearing, the hat I am wearing. I am a wife, I have my swadharma related to being a wife. I am a mother, I have a swadharma related to being a mother. I am a sister, I am a brother, I am a husband. We all have swadharmas, our own occupational duties. But our supreme occupational duty is our Sanatan Dharma, our Jaiva Dharma, that we are the servant. So if we perform our Swadharma, keeping in mind our eternal Jaiva Dharma or Sanatan Dharma, that is the perfect way of performing one's dharma. Just focusing on Swadharma, forgetting Sanatan Dharma is also not right. So he's saying that Parama Swadharma, this Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he was the great personality, but still he was performing his Swadharma. He was performing his religious duty and Sarvaloka Pikshita, and therefore he was honored by everyone. Everybody loved him. Everybody takes guidance from him. So he was honored by all. Since he was a learned scholar, he was respected by all students, not because he was learned, but because of his achar and his prachar. Not only that he was learned, but he was following all that to himself. He was walking his talk. Therefore, he was honored. The Brahmanas highly regarded him because he was prosperous. Knowing him to be the most pious, ordinary people learned religious principles from him because he was following his talk. Krishna Bhakti Sindhu Maje Bhase Nirantara Ashru Kampa Pula Kave Sthita Kalevara. So now Mahaprabhu is saying that he was always floating in Krishna Bhakti Sindhu, in the devotional service to Krishna, the ocean, Sindhu means the ocean. He was constantly floating in the ocean of devotional service to Krishna and Nirantar, constantly. And how his body, his kalevar, his body was decorated. His body was decorated with ashru. Ashru means tears. With kampa. Kampa means shivering, trembling. Pulaka. Pulaka means, again, Pulaka Vestita means his hairs would always stand on its end, just hearing the name of Krishna. So this way his body will be decorated with ashru, kampa, pulaka. And he was always drowned, always floating in the ocean of devotional service to Krishna. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that ordinary living entities, they're prone to enjoy objects that are not related to Krishna, and they're busy enjoying those material objects. But this was not the case with Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was constantly engaged in the service of Krishna and remained decorated with the symptom of ecstatic love, like tears, shivering, and hair standing on end. This should be the condition of a pure devotee. It's been mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Madhya Leela, where he says, Mahaprabhu says, Bhavat Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japa Tapa Apranesya Vyadehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. That Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, those who are devoid of Bhagavad Bhakti, those who are devoid of devotional service, then Jati, Shastram, Japas or Tapa, then no matter, even if their Jati is from a very high religious birth, they may belong to a very great family or nation, or Shastram, or they are very learned in Shastras, or Japa, or they perform lot of chanting and penance and austerity and tapa, and they chant the Vedic mantras and they perform lot of austerities, no matter. But because they are Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, they are devoid of the devotional service, then no matter whatever activity they do, then what will be their deha? Will be apranasya, means the deha, the body in which they are embodied, will be like apran, means will be like a dead body. Mandanam Lokaranjanam, and it will be just an ornament. It will be all these things like austerity, penance, chanting mantras, knowing the scriptures in and out. All these will be simply an ornaments that will be decorating the dead body. And Mandanam Lokaranjanam, and it will be only for the pleasure of general people, because general people will always mistake him to be a great Vaishnava. But because he's Bhagavad Bhakti Vinasya, because he's devoid of that devotional service, therefore all these things are just the ornaments that are decorating the dead body. So this is very important. Here he is saying the ornament of a devotee should be ashru kampa pulaka vestita. That should be an ornament of a pure devotee. They should always lament, when will I find Krishna? When will I find my Radharani? When will I have this Radha Dasya? They should always tremble in hearing the name of Krishna. Their always ears should stand on end on hearing the name of Krishna. They are the symptoms of a pure devotee. And Mahaprabhu is saying that Pundrik Vidyanidhi is one of them, because all these things will always decorate his body. And those whose body is not decorated with all these things, then whatever so-called decoration they have, like chanting the mantras or chanting Vedic hymns or memorizing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in and out, but not able to focus on the real devotional service, then all these things, this japa, tapa, they are all the ornaments of the dead body. So the main thing is that we should have a devotion attitude. Our attitude should be devotional. Those who do not have this, but show others that, yes, I am a great devotee, Bhagavad Gita describes them as mithyachari, as the pretender. Why? Because they don't follow the things properly. And see, here it is being mentioned that he follow his religious duties also very well. This is also very important. One should follow one's religious duty. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, when Arjun was confused that, oh Krishna, what do you want me to do? Should I renounce everything, or should I engage myself in this ghastly warfare in which you want me to do? What should I do? Then Krishna says, actually renunciation is better. But oh Arjun, one should not falsely renounce everything, right? Those who take pleasure, those who are Atmanam, they can fully renounce everything. Why? Because they are fully satiated. But even an iota of that gratification is there in the heart, then one should not perform that. Rather, one should perform one's religious duties, keeping one's Sanatan Dharma, keeping one's Jaiva Dharma into mind. Perform your Swadharma, keeping your Sanatan Dharma, your eternal Dharma in your mind. And then Krishna says, Yad yad achrati shreshtas tat tat eva tarojana sayat paramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. Because if the great man will not perform those activities, then the common men will follow. And whatever standard the great man will show, naturally it will become an exemplary for the common man to follow. So therefore, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, though he was a pakka true renunciant, but still he was showing himself to be the great materialistic, performing his swadharma also nicely, performing his swadharma. Why? Because he wanted that the common people should follow. And then Krishna says that even I don't have any duty. I don't have any duty to perform, Arjun, but still I also carefully perform my prescribed duty. And we know through Srimad Bhagavatam that how Krishna very nicely performed all his religious duties. He was perfect when he was out of home, and he was perfect when he was a householder, taking care of 16,108 wives and so many children. So he also performed his duties very well. Why? Because this is the mood that one, if we don't perform our prescribed duties, then we do not become an exemplary for the common men to follow. For the common men to follow, we have to prove it by our examples, through our actions. The actions speaks much louder than words. So our actions should be such that it can bring transformation in the heart of others. No matter how much you tell your children, chant, 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 but they will still say, can't, can't, can't. But the moment they see us chanting, naturally they develop the desire of chanting, right? So therefore, our actions should be exemplary before our friends, before our relatives, before our family members. If we are exemplary with our actions, naturally they will try to follow. So this is how we set up an example. And this is how even Pundarik Vidyanidhi was following his religious duties and was setting the right example before the people there. Then now he is describing the activity. Mahaprabhu is saying, Ganga snana na karena Padasparsha bhaya Ganga darshane kare nishara samaya. Ganga snana na karena. He would not take bath in the river Ganga. Why? Padasparsha bhaya. Because he has that bhaya. He has fear in his heart that if I go and take bath in Ganga, so how you are going to take bath? Naturally, you will step your foot. Right? So your feet will touch Ganga. And he doesn't want, because he thinks Ganga to be the Charanamrit. Ganga is actually the Charanamrit of the Supreme Lord. So one should always we should respect Charanamrit. So he would not take bath in the Ganga, for he feared touching that water with his feet. Ganga darshana kare nisharasmaya, and he would take darshan of the Ganga only at night. So Prabhupada says, why only at night? So he did not take bath in the Ganga to cleanse his sinful reactions like ordinary people who are engaged in fruitive activities. That's what they do. We ordinary people, what we do? We just go take bath in Ganga so that we are cleansed of all our sinful reactions. But Pundarik Vidyanidhi had a strong respect and unshakable faith in the waters, because he thinks that Ganga has been emanated from the lotus feet of Vishnu, and therefore it has become Charanamrit. So he did not take bath because he feared that touching the water with his feet would be an offense towards Ganga. And therefore he thought that he avoided the vision of the public, and he took darshan of Ganga at night. Why he took darshan only at night? He says, Gangaya ye sabha loka kare anachara khullola danta dhana kesha samskara. Because during daytime, people will disrespect. Ganga is sabha loka kara anachar. They will disrespect Ganga. How? Kullola. Kullola means kulla karna, means rinsing your mouth. They will do kulola, danta dhavna, they will brush their teeth, and kesha samskara, and they will wash their hair in that water. So therefore he says that this way they didn't disrespect Ganga. So I don't want to see them, because if I'll see them doing all those activities, I will be judging them. And that will be an offense towards those people. So I don't want to see them, neither I want to comment, and neither I want to judge. So better for me is that I will go at night and have darshan of Ganga. Now, this is also very important, that now someone may ask whether we should take bath in Ganga or we should not, whether we should take bath in Yamuna or we should not, whether we should take bath in Radha Kund and all other kunds or we should not. Well, again, it depends upon the mood of a devotee, right? It all depends upon the mood, and it also depends upon the instructions that we receive from our spiritual master. If our spiritual master tells us that, yes, you can take bath, then we should take bath. If we are being instructed that we should not take bath, then we should not take bath in such holy waters. So it all depends upon the instructions given to us by our spiritual master, and definitely on our mood. But the mood of a devotee is always that we should not play around in such holy waters. Like we should not do all these offensive activities that Mahaprabhu is describing, like washing our mouth or brushing our teeth or washing our hair or washing our clothes in such water. All these activities should not be done, because these holy waters are not the ordinary waters. So keeping in that mind, even if we are taking bath, very, very respectfully, like we were like recently during this Kartik Mas, we were in Rajmandal Parikrama. And the day came when the appearance day of Srimati, of Radha Kund came, right? So it was Ashtami Tithi, 8th day. It was Radha Ashtami. Radha Kund, not Radha Ashtami, it was Radha Kund appearance day. I'm forgetting whether it was Ashtami or which day.
Bahula Ashtami.
Huh?
Bahula Ashtami.
Bahula Ashtami, yeah. So it's Ashtami on the 8th day, yeah. So we were in Radha Kund, and we were all being told that today everybody will be in Radha Kund and will be taking bath, and that too at 12 o'clock in the midnight. So the entire parikrama was instructed that you all should not go at 12 o'clock in the midnight to take bath or to take a dip in Radha Kund, because there will be a lot of people, it will be fully crowded, and it's not safe also going 12 o'clock in the midnight. So, but they said that if you want, you can go in that Mahurta, means from 12. There are 2-3 Mahurtas which are good. So they said that 12 o'clock in the midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning, you all can go. Anyone who they are really keen to go, they can go and take bath. Because it is said that other days, actually, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj used to say, because I had one friend with me and she was a disciple of Radha Govind Maharaj. So Radha Govind Maharaj instruction is not to take bath in holy waters of Radha Kund, but on Bahulashtami day, on the appearance of Radha Kund, you can take bath, you can take a dip, and that too very respectfully. So in the midnight we went, and first of all the instruction was that don't play around. So you have to first bow down, whether you are entering in the water of Ganga or you are entering the water of Yamuna. We should bow down. We should offer our respect. Then as we go down into the waters, first of all, before touching our feet, we should do Achaman with the same water, and then the same water we should offer back to the Ganga water or Yamuna water. And then slowly taking the permission and having the instruction from our spiritual master, we can enter those water and very respectfully take a dip, maybe 1, 3 or whatsoever. Take a dip very respectfully, praying to that holy water, and then finally coming out, rather than sporting inside. Because especially in Haridwar, if you go, we see a lot of people entering into the water of Ganga and they are playing around, they're splashing the water. That should never be the mood. The mood should be that these are the holy waters and we should very respectfully, even if we are taking a dip in that water, very respectfully we should go, and with our head submerged in it, we should take 3 or 5 or whatsoever number of dips, and we should come out. And while coming out also, we should ask forgiveness that we have entered into that water, and also we should pay obeisances. So this is the mood, and it was being taught to us that this is the mood that when you enter into the waters of Radha Kund. So be very, very respectful. So even Mahaprabhu is telling that Pundarik Vidyanidhi was also very, very respectful. But at the same time, he doesn't want to judge those people. Therefore, he will take darshan only at night. Ganga ye sabha loka kare anachara kulala danta dhvana kesha samskara. Because they were doing all those activities, he doesn't want to go. Esa kala dekhiya paye na mana vyatha. His heart will be at pain seeing all those activities of all those people. Ete ke dekhe na Ganga nishaya sarvatha. And for this reason, Mahaprabhu is telling that he will go and take darshan of Ganga only at night. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that the Vaishnavas of Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya, who worship the Lord with awe and reverence, do not take bath in the water of the Ganga. Why? Because it is Charanamrit of the Supreme Lord. Rather, they purify themselves by simply sprinkling the Ganga water on their head. So during the parikrama also, when there were so many kundas and it was not possible. So it is said that when you cannot take bath in or dip in those kundas, you just take the water, do achaman and sprinkle it on your head and offer it back to that kunda. So these 3 things one should do. Although persons who are envious of the Vaishnavas know that the Ganga has emanated from the lotus feet, they unknowingly or knowingly wash their mouth and brush their teeth with that water. Since the exalted devotee Pundrika had a strong devotion for Vishnu, he was extremely pained to see this behavior of the non-devotees, and that is why he avoided the vision of those ordinary people who took darshan and honored the spiritual water of the Ganga at night. So he will only sprinkle the water and take it little bit in his palm and he would honor that water, but he will never go. And he will always go at the night for many reasons. First of all, he doesn't want to see all those people because he will have pain in his heart. Secondly, he doesn't want to judge. He doesn't want to commit any aparadh against those devotees who are going in Ganga and performing all those activities. विचित्र विश्वास आरा एक शुनताया देवा चरना पूर्वे करे गंगा जल पाना. Now he said that I want to tell you another important, wonderful characteristic of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And what is that? Deva Archana Purva means before worshipping the water, Ganga Jalapana, he will drink the water of Ganga. And that we all perform, right? Even those who are second initiated devotees, they know that when they enter the altar, they first do achaman. And while achaman, they drink the water by saying the mantra, Om Keshavaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, Om Madhavaya Nama. And that water is first purified by putting our finger and chanting the mantra. Ganga Chai, Jamuna Chai, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, Jalasmin, Sanidhan Kuru. We invite all these holy waters in that Achaman cup, and then we drink the water. We purify ourselves, only then we enter the altar of the Supreme Lord. So this is how we all should do, and this is how Pundarik Vidyanidhi was also doing. So before worshipping the Lord, he would drink the water of Ganga, only then he would worship the Lord. Tabe se kare na puja adi nitya karma, then only he will do his nitya karma, his puja adi. Iha sarva panditere puja yena dharma. In this way he will, through his own example, he will teach religious principles to all the learned scholars. Ordinary proud learned scholars take bath in the Ganga in order to cleanse their own sinful reactions. But Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he will drink the water, Ganga water, before beginning his worship to reveal the glories of the Ganga. This proper conduct for the worship of the Lord was followed by many. Iha sarva panditara bhujayena dharma. This way he will perform his regular activities and it will be followed by all the other learned scholars because he was teaching them through his own example. Chati grama achine thaya obadi ache ashi bena samprati dekhi baki chupache. He lives in Chattagram and he has also his house here. Ethaya obadi ache, but he has his house here also in Navadvip. Ashibena samprati dekhibe kuchupache, and he will soon come here and then you all will see him. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says that he also has a house. He was from Chattagram, but he also has a house on the bank of Ganga in Sri Mayapur in Navadvip. And at that time, the learned scholars of Gada Desha came to that city of Navadvip and established their own schools because Navadvip was known to be very full of all the scholarly people. We have a few more verses. I'll quickly go through. Tara jata ke hai chinte na pariba, dekhila vishay matra jnana na kariba. By seeing him, none of you will immediately recognize him. So Mahaprabhu is telling that you will, when see him, when he will come to Navadvip, none of you will recognize him. And you will simply see him as Vishayi, as enjoying or satisfying his sense gratification. You will simply see him as a materialistic person. Tare na dekhiya ami swasti nahi pai sab tare akarshiya anaha ethai. But Mahaprabhu is saying, because I have not seen him, so swasti naha pai, I am not feeling satisfaction in my heart. I have no peace in my mind because I have not seen him. But now I know that you all will go and attract him and he will definitely come here. Kahi tara katha prabhu avishta haila pundarika bapa bali kandita lagila. And in this way, when Mahaprabhu was speaking about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he immediately became overwhelmed and he again started crying, "Oh Pundarik, my father, my father." Maha Uchishware Prabhu Rodana Karena. So he was not sobbing, rather he was Maha Uchishware. Loudly he was crying. Rodana Karena. Tara bhaktera tatvati ho sajanena. Why? Because he only knows the glories of his devotees. So the Lord Krishna know what glory his devotees has. Like we see the example of Ambarish Maharaj. Krishna knows the glories of Ambarish Maharaj. So when Durvasa Muni even approached, he said, I have nothing to do. You have to go back to my devotee and ask forgiveness. So Krishna knows the glories of his devotees. So Mahaprabhu also know the glory of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Therefore, just by remembering him, he was simply crying and loudly, Uchchishvara Rodana. Okay. भक्ता तत्व चैतन्य गोसाई मात्र जाने से भक्ता जाने यारा कहे न आपाने. Lord Chaitanya alone knows the glories of his devotees, and only that devotee whom he favors know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, because he is the recipient of Mahaprabhu's mercy. Last verse for today. ईश्वरे आकर्षण हैला तारा प्रति नवद Navadvipe asite tahara hailamati. And in this way, the Lord attracted Pundarik just by remembering him, just by discussing his glories, just by discussing his pastimes. Mahaprabhu was remembering his dear devotee Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who also got attracted and finally decided to visit Navadvip. So Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, but he was in Chattagram. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was in Chattagram. But just because Mahaprabhu was singing his glories, and because Mahaprabhu was singing his glories, he got so attracted, because the first reason that we got, that why the devotees are dear, because Supreme Lord takes shelter in the heart of that devotee. So the Lord in the heart of Pundarik Vidyanidhi made him attract towards Mahaprabhu, that he also decided that let me go and to Navadvip, let me visit Navadvip and meet Mahaprabhu. So now we will see that how he will come to Navadvip, and Madhu Pandit will take Gadadhar Pandit to Pundarik Vidyanidhi and will show his glories. And finally, Gadadhar Pandit will take initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So we'll stop here. We covered till 36, and tomorrow we'll start with 37. So thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Caitanya Bhagavat ki jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. See if we have questions, comments, or corrections.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thanks a lot for such wonderful enlightening class, Mataji. You started with Mahaprabhu craving to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and then you explained various what should be our vairagya, what type of vairagya we should follow. Like it should not be markat or falgu vairagya, and it should be we should be doing our work, but we should be doing it renunciately and dedicate everything to Lord, at the feet of Lord. And you in that like comparing to Pundarik Vidyanidhi, also brought in Raghunath Das example also, like how he was renunciated even though he was so rich. And you explained so nicely about various other aspects also towards the end, Mataji. Thanks a lot for such enlightening class, Mataji. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or any comments, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Harita Mataji. You practically summarized the entire session. So yes, it's very important that we should not artificially renounce anything. And one thing I learned when I was in Vraj, I was in Vrindavan. So one Rajvasi was telling that, he was telling in Hindi. So I'll tell in Hindi and probably then I'll translate. So he was telling कि 4 wish होते हैं. Like there are 4 poison that really ruin our spiritual life. So he says that bhogon mein asakti nahi honi chahiye. Means whatever opulence we have, we should be detached from everything. We should not have attachment to it. Then he said that karmo mein kamna nahi honi chahiye. Means whatever activity we do, we should not do with the desire of enjoying or satisfying our senses. Rather, we should do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Samsiddhir haritoshanam, to satisfy the Supreme Lord, for his satisfaction. So कर्मों में कामना नहीं होनी चाहिए, भोगों में आसक्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए। देन विचारों में अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए, मीन्स in our thoughts there should be no ego. Like we should not consider kartaham iti manyate, right? Ahankar nahi hona chahiye. There should be no ego that I am the doer. If something good has happened, well, I am the doer. That should not be there. And the last thing he said, that sambandhiyon mein mamata nahi honi chahiye, means they should not have attachment towards your relatives or your friends or your family. You should not try to own them. Like yesterday, Adhikata Prabhu was telling, right? That in Bhakti Vriksha, if some people join, we try to own devotees. Well, ये तो मेरी Bhakti Vriksha का, ये वहाँ कैसे जा रहा है? Such kind of mentality should not be there. So संबंधियों में ममता नहीं होनी चाहिए. Means we should not have that attachment towards our relatives, towards our family. We should be detached from them. Rather, affection is okay. That whenever you need, I am there. But I should not own you. So it was very helpful that, yes, these are the 4 things that really destroy our spiritual life. We think that, oh, this opulence, we develop attachment towards those opulence. We develop that ahankar in our thoughts that, oh, we become the doer of our activities. And whatever activity we do it for our gratification, for our sense gratification. And we try to own people. We should not do that. So these are really important things that if we try to imbibe in our life, then definitely we'll be far away from those distress. Because distress...
Mataji, can you repeat the full? I'm writing down. Can you please repeat? Bhogo mein asakti.
Yeah,
next one.
में आसक्ति नहीं हो. In Hindi only I am repeating, Prabhu.
Okay, उसमें बोलिए, हिंदी में बोलिए.
भोगों में आसक्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए, कर्म में कामना नहीं होनी चाहिए, विचारों में अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए, और संबंधियों में ममता नहीं होनी चाहिए. These are the 4 poison.
विचारों में, what you told? विचारों में?
विचारों में अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए.
अहंकार, okay.
Think that I am the doer of all activity.
And कर्मों में?
कर्मों में कामना नहीं होनी चाहिए.
कामना, okay. Very good, Mataji. Very good. It is so heart touching. भोगों में आसक्ति नहीं होना चाहिए, कर्मों में कामना नहीं होना चाहिए, विचारों में अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए, संबंधियों में ममता नहीं होना चाहिए.
ममता नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Very good, very good. This is Brajvasi. I can see you become a Brajvasi when telling this.
No. It was wonderful. Wonderful. It was.
Haribol, so nice, Mataji. We actually, these are all for me only. I take it to my heart and I should
For
follow
all of us, Mataji, we are all in the same boat. But it's for all of us. Even if we are advanced, still we should, as Mahaprabhu said, we should not show everybody that we are advanced. We should still lament. Like yesterday, again, Adhikata Prabhu was telling about Prabodhananda Saraswati. Vanchitasmi, vanchitasmi, vanchitasmi. Thinking that to a level, to a caliber of a personality like Prabodhananda Saraswati, if he is saying that I am left with all that mercy of Mahaprabhu, then who are we?
Yeah, awesome, Aditya. And you were telling that Lord appreciates the one who appreciates the devotees, like who considers the Lord in devotees. He is actually great devotee for Lord. So that was also a very nice point, Mataji, that we should always consider Vaishnavas as our gods. Actually, we should serve them nicely. And that point also you told in this conversation, Mataji. Thanks a lot, Mataji. Dear devotees, please share your thoughts and comments.
Sukha Kara Krishna Prabhu. Yes, please go ahead, Prabhuji. Dandvat pranams to you.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji. It was so wonderful. All the time, that the whole thing about what is his name? Who was Mahaprabhu's Radharani, Pundrik Vidyanidhi. Yeah. So he was only father of Radharani, no?
Yes, he was.
Vrishabhanu Maharaj.
Yes, in Vrindavan.
So I think we also have to hide our. I think when we go out, we are not put tilaka and go, because we go to a new place. But tilaka we are putting. We
tilak we should
that,
put.
No?
There is no harm in putting tilak. Tilak is okay. But we should not be like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Mathe tilak galkanthi mala aage piche sundar bala. That should not be the mood. If we are putting tilak, we should have, like, we should be exemplary. The point is that we should be exemplary. But tilak actually we should put, because that's our Vaishnavta. Our Vaishnavta is shown by this tilak. Like,
and by seeing the tilak, they will be able to remember from the Atma side that they are a servant of Krishna, or they'll be able to see the lotus feet of Krishna.
Inquire, we just recently went somewhere, and that lady, she told me, "Oh, I really like this mark on your forehead." And so she asked me, "What is this?" So it was a mundane, materialistic place where we went. But because I was wearing tilak, she asked me. And at least for a minute, I told that what I am wearing and what it signifies. So some agyat sikriti she also got, right? So wearing tilak and wearing kanthi mala, it's actually for us and for others, for us to preach, for others to get some sukriti. And this is our Vaishnava ornament, so we should wear it. But we should be very, very exemplary. We should have fully respect. We should always think that I am wearing tilak. So, mathe tilak galkanthi mala, aage piche sundar. That should not be the mood. Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to say this.
Actually, my mother told that when you ask for tilak, you just show the tilak whole mantra. She told one tune, Keshava Narayana Madhava Govinda Vishnu Madhusudana Trivikrama Vamana Sridhara Rishikesha Padmanabha Damodara Vasudeva Iti Tilaka Mantram. The children, they learn it and see so.
Yeah, it's easy to learn in this tune. Otherwise, we normally
all kids learned like this only, Mataji and Prabhuji Sukaka Krishna Prabhu in the kids camp. I mean, kids group.
Yeah. So we are also kids. We are all children of Krishna. We should also sing and put.
We also have a video made of this. We'll send that from the kids.
Yeah, please send that.
It has cartoon. Preeti Mataji made it.
Yeah, please send that video. I love to have that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for always coming.
What you told, gale mein kanthi mala or
mathe tilak gal
mathe pe tilak.
Mathe tilak gal kanthi mala aage piche sundar bala.
Sundar bala.
That is Markat Vairagya. That is being a show bottle devotee.
Yeah. Aage piche sundar bala. Okay.
Anyone else has anything?
Wonderful class, Mother. So wonderful. So nice.
Thank you for all
Hare
your
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If no one has any comments or questions, so let us pay our obeisances to Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Mataji, thanks for such enlightening class. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Nantakoti Vishnu Srila Prabhupada Jai. Hare
Jai.
Mataji ki Jai.
Oh, Gauranga.
Thank you.
Nityananda. Nityananda. Gauranga. Gauranga. Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. सब बोले वृंदावन धाम गोवर्धन गिरिराज की जय हो
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hari Gauranga.
Very wonderful class, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you,
Radhe Radhe.
Fantastic.